Oh, yes. It's 2:23. I got here probably 2 or 3 minutes ago, and I thought that I'd do this from approximately 2:20 to 4:20. Yeah. So as to maybe get it on the YouTube and sent to those in law enforcement about certain rights being violated. Now, I noticed that it said 14 days until the next court hearing. Yeah. Mhm. There's a presumption, really, when you think about it, you could have the next court hearing a year later. When the RCW say 14 days, and in just looking at the packet, right? Just the regular old protection order, not the extreme risk protection order. 14 days until the next hearing. Now, I'm thinking that somebody kind of doesn't like the laws of the state of Washington, and my concern was that you were kind of adjusting them at your discretion. You thought that you'd adjust the laws so that when the RCW say 14 days, yes, you would actually just have the court hearing whenever you want. Now, I did think that somebody was making some sort of excuse how small counties just can't facilitate all the court hearings that they need to have. You don't have enough personnel to actually have. Well, we looked at this protection order. Yes. Um, the temporary order, this morning I made some videos about not getting actual notice of court hearings. And then you decided, well, we're just not going to remove it. And I had said, well, I don't have any jurisdiction to motion the court when you don't give me actual notice of court hearings. See, this was the copy that was given to me where the respondent did not receive actual notice of the hearing. And I know the judges, they're like, I'm being kind of a dick for wanting to have notice of court hearings. I'm always the individual that seems to have the problem, and you as judges never have a problem. But you don't enforce the laws, and then you look at me like I'm the individual that's being obstinate. Now, when it says the court finds based upon the court record that you say you had jurisdiction over the parties, the minors, and the subject matter, then it says respondent had reasonable notice and opportunity to be heard. Yes. But I didn't actually have actual notice or opportunity to be heard. It's a fraudulent statement to say that I received actual notice when I didn't. Now, I know you want to blame me for your personal problems, but I'm not here to take the anger of the court commissioner or any of the judges in any state of the United States. I emailed the Atlanta court system, the clerks of the court. Yes. Now, when each and every judge of the United States gets sued because you're the obstinate problem, yeah, it's not me, okay? I've sent you 2 million emails and I emailed a few other individuals. Right. And they all have legal liability for the enforcement of the law. So when it gets to blaming somebody for the loss of their assets, they can blame you. Now, this petition must complete law enforcement. Yes. Now, this is a temporary order for protection and notice of court hearing. Yeah. This is what I get. Now, it's very similar to the order for protection. Yes. Except it says temporary order for protection and the notice of the hearing. Yes. You see that right there? Yeah. Now, when the actual form asks, respondent did or did not have reasonable notice and opportunity to be heard, yes, I think that's what I get is the notice of the hearing. Yeah. hmm Now, the petitioner puts her name in there, and then the 5 minors named. Yes. hmm Now, the respondent will be served notice of his or her opportunity to be heard at the scheduled hearing. Yes. The RCW 26.50.070. Yes, yes. Now, you didn't feel a need to enforce that law. And every time I've informed you that I want you to remove your fucking order, you've said that I'm the problem. But this actually says that the respondent will be served notice of his opportunity to be heard at the scheduled hearing. Yes. Now, this morning, this was the reissuing of a temporary protection order. Reissuing of a temporary protection order. Yeah. You didn't actually serve me. For every individual in this nation that has a problem with me suing them and having them put in prison, you can thank Clallam County for the loss of your assets because I informed the police department. Now, when this form says, the respondent will be served notice of his opportunity to be heard at the scheduled hearing. And you scheduled the hearing? Yes. Mm-hmm. On July 31st of 2015, yes. The court finds emergency exists and the temporary protection order should be issued without notice to the respondent to avoid irreparable harm or injury. You issued a temporary protection order? Yes. Mm-hmm. Temporary order for protection and notice of hearing? Yeah. What emergency took place in June of 2015? I have no idea. Yeah. But the court decided to do it, and then they decided not to serve me. Now, you put all these restraint provisions in there, and you did not actually serve me. Oh. Surrender weapons, or the respondent must turn in any firearms and other dangerous weapons as stated in the order to surrender weapons issued without notice. Now, let me just see what kind of. I got ordered to surrender weapons. Yes. But I didn't actually get notice. Now, I don't know if that's what they mean by that. Yes. But I didn't get notice of the court hearing that you wanted me to surrender the weapons. The respondent is directed to appear and show cause why this temporary order should not be made effective for 1 year or more, and why the court should not order the relief requested by the petitioner or other relief which may include electronic monitoring, payment of costs, and treatment. Failure to appear at this hearing may result in the court granting such relief. Now, the next hearing date is shown on page 1. So you can see that I didn't get that. Yeah. I didn't get that right there and right there. Yes. Now, I just want you to know that when you say I received actual notice and I didn't receive notice, and then somebody says, well, if you have a problem, you can motion the court. When I have a problem, I sue those that are employees of the government. Do you understand, Mr. Coghill? Now, it's not at the discretion of the court. You actually did this in 2011. Do you remember that? Okay, let's just look at it, okay? This was the temporary order for protection. Yes. Brent Baisden. Right. Order reissuing temporary protection order. I didn't get notice of that court hearing. I wasn't a resident of the state of Washington. Then you reissued it? Yes. But I still wasn't a resident of the state of Washington. And I didn't get notice of that. And then you issued a 1-year protection order, Judge Ken Williams? Yes. And I wasn't a resident of the state of Washington. Pooh. You actually took my sons without any notice or opportunity to be heard. Does the Clallam County Judiciary have a problem with being the ones that can be blamed for me suing every fucking oath of office in this nation? I know you dislike the thought, but when I inform you that you gave me no notice or opportunity to be heard in 2011, yes. But then you issued a dissolution of marriage in 2012, right? And then you had me arrested at the same moment as serving me. Do you remember that? And then, oh, look at the renewal of the order for protection. I know I had seen that. You renewed it on May 31st of 2000. But you did not actually reissue. You gave me 12 hours by minute order, Brent Payson. Yes. Now, I want you to remove your fraud. And I want this fucking right now.